Hello and welcome to This Week in Campbell Football, powered by our friends at Fred Anderson Toyota. I'm your host, Chris Samar, alongside with head coach of the Fighting Camels, Mike Minter, and we are proud to be coming to you from the brand new Carly C's IGA Press Tower, part of the $4+ million renovations to Barker Lane Stadium, and we'll start there. Coach, we've had nearly 12,000 fans total to see the two games here at home this season, including a record 6,044 last weekend against Charleston Southern.
You know what? My favorite word is wow. I mean, that's encouraging that a lot of people is coming out and supporting us as a football program and wanting to see us play and see the new product and also want to see the new stadium and you know what? It's so much excitement around Campbell football right now that it's really fun to be a part of and to see the growth and the excitement here at the time right now.
Well, the excitement moves to the requests we're getting to. Hey, let's have a fan ask a question segment to our new head coach, and so we'll start there. This is the Ask Coach Mike segment. And for future episodes here of This Week in Campbell Football, you can tweet with the hashtag AskCoachMike or also put it on our Facebook page. Just search Go Camels ATH. The first one comes from a student, Jordan Falls here. At Jordan Falls is his Twitter handle. And he wants to know, what was it like when you were the captain of the Carolina Panthers with them in Super Bowl 38?
Ah, man, nothing like it. It was kind of surreal. The whole moment, the whole season. Us finally winning the division championship, and then going to win the conference championship in Philly. That whole run in the playoff, beating Dallas, and then beating the Rams, and of course going up there and beating Philly, and now going to the Super Bowl. And 2 weeks of people talking about you and excited about the game. They ask you about a million different type of questions, and then when you run out of there. Out of that tunnel, it's nothing like that. You got flash bulbs going all over the place, and it was kind of slow motion, and then as soon as the ball is kicked off, fast motion, and the game goes to like 5 minutes. I mean, it was warp speed, and then the game's over, and so it was a moment I won't forget in my life.
And Coach, you had a career record 18 tackles in that game, and you did it on a broken foot. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, in the beginning of the third quarter, actually they threw the ball down the middle of the field, and I was coming to try to make a tackle. And their field at that time was kind of slippery, and I think they had just put in new grass, and so my foot hit the turf wrong, and it slipped under that grass, and it broke, and I knew it. I felt it, and I remember coming to the sideline after it happened. I said, man, I broke my foot. I'm talking to the trainer, and he said, no, you did. I said, yeah, I did. I said, you just tie it up real tight. Don't take it off, because I want to finish this game, so tie it up real tight. And he did that and taped it up and went out there and finished it. So when the play was going on, I was okay, because the drilling was going. But as soon as that play was over, man, it felt like my foot was going to fall off. But again, you just kind of block it out and just kind of go with it and try to get a win. I knew it was going to be a strong possibility that I was not going to ever play in that game again, so I wasn't going to come out no matter what.
And of course now, any team you coach, Campbell football players, you don't have any excuses, no matter how bad you are hurting. And I know you guys don't make any excuses. The Charleston Southern game over the weekend, not the outcome that you wanted. But, Coach, playing a scholarship team, you played them very close. We were almost scoreless at the end of the first quarter. It was a 10-3 game at halftime. What positives did you take out of that game?
Well, I took a lot of positive away. To your point, that first half should have been 10-10. We're not going to talk about that call that they called. But anyway, we was battling. And that's what I wanted to see us compete. I wanted to see us, not take any backseat to any scholarship football program. And we came in there, and I saw the guys' confidence start to grow. Now, here's the other thing that I learned, is that because we are in that process of trying to learn how to win a championship, learning how to win is where we at right now. And learning how to win is coming out of halftime ready to go. So if you look back at UVA-wise, and you look at this game, out of halftime, we haven't really came and played a second half that's been something that you want to write home about. And that's what happened in this past game is we lost the game in a span of about 6 minutes in that game from the end of the third to the beginning of the fourth. That's where we lost the game. And I talked about keys of the game. I said, look, we cannot give up big plays on defense. We gave up 6 big plays. 4 of them was drives where they scored. 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal. You take away 24 points, all of a sudden we win in the game. So again, it was so many positives because we so close of the things that we're talking about that's going to get us to win football games against great opponents like that. So I'm really encouraged about how Brian Hudson played. I thought he played very, very well. I thought the offensive line held up pretty good against a really, really good 8-man people because they were rotating their defensive line in 4 at a time, and they was blitzing from all different directions. And for us to only have 5 sacks, I'm pretty excited about that. So again, I think we had to run the ball. We didn't run the ball enough to our running backs. Okay, I think we only had them 7 times, and we got to get on the ball at least 30 to 40 times with all them running backs that we have.
It was a game that was close for the majority of it, and it was played in front of a record Barker Lane Stadium crowd of 6,044 fans. Here's the highlights from Campbell hosting Charleston Southern.
Campbell and Charleston Southern tangle on Military Appreciation Day at Barker Lane Stadium as Bob and Pat Barker as well as Ed Gore were on hand. Barker would make the coin toss, which would go Campbell's way. The game was a defensive struggle in the first half as Charleston Southern would score first on this Christian Reyes 2-yard run. Campbell would answer with a Jarrett Ozimek 31-yard field goal, and Campbell's defense would stiffen as they would hold the Buccaneers to just 1 more field goal in the first half. 10-3 at the break. CSU wouldn't score again till 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, but the Bucs would get 1 more before Jabri Ridenour scores on this 9-yard end-around to make it 23-10 in favor of the Buccaneers. CSU would add 1 more score, and then a ball control offense kicked in that wouldn't allow Campbell to get back into it. All of this in front of a new record crowd at Barker Lane Stadium, over 6,000 in attendance. CU quarterback Brian Hudson threw for 110 yards and ran for 79 more, and A.J. Otis had a good night receiving. Nevertheless, it was a 30-10 decision in a game that really wasn't as lopsided as the score indicates.
Well, Coach, no game for you this weekend. You will start Pioneer Football League play at Valparaiso in Indiana on September 28th. So without a game coming up this weekend, what is this week of practice like for you? Well,
it's like training camp. It's going back to the basics, going back to understanding our technique. We'll be going against one another again, so 1s against 1s, 2s against 2s, 3s against 3s. We'll end up with a scrimmage with all the guys that's either red-shirting or haven't got a lot of playing time, so they can kind of get that game experience and another scrimmage in with those guys. It's also a time that you got to be able to relax and then heal up. We done had 3 tough opponents coming in the preseason, and now we're getting ready for what I call the season, the conference play, and the meat and potatoes of why we're here. And that's to win a conference championship so we can have an opportunity to go to the playoffs to then win a national championship. And so, that's really where our focus is. And so I told the guys to really look at yourself and see where you can get better as a player. And be very critical of yourself. And so us as coaches will grade what we've done up to this point, offense, defense, special teams, what we need to tweak, what we need to keep, what we need to throw away. And then also we'll grade every player, come up with our 56 guys that's going to travel with us to Valpo, and so and then we'll spend a lot of time recruiting. So we get on the road on Thursday, get out there, try to get some new guys up in here for that 2014 class, and so that's really the week of a bye week from the coaching staff to the players of what we're looking at.
Yeah, if you call it an off week, you listen to what he just said. Never an off week during the college football season. We won't take an off week on this show either. Join us next week, same time, same place. we'll give you a tour of this two-level facility here, the new $4.6 million of renovations here at the Carly C's IGA Press Tower and the stands. And also, we'll get you ready for the Valpo game, the first game in the Pioneer Football League next weekend. For head coach Mike Minner, I'm Chris Ameyer saying so long from this week in Campbell football.